Hello everybody and welcome back to Thornton Farm. Today we're going to be jumping back into the New Holland T7 tractor. This is the, what is it, T7 Mud. No, what is this? The T7 270. And this is going to be the tractor which we use today to first of all cultivate the field, and secondly we need to then plant some sugar beets in here as well. So let's get started straight away, and we're going to go for the headland first of all. What I tend to do is when I'm ploughing I tend to do the headland last, and for the cultivating I do it first, and I think usually for the seeding I also do that first as well, but I think really for Farming Simulator it's personal preference because it doesn't actually make any difference, but yeah, doing stuff like cultivating the headland first does make a big difference to how hard or easy the job is. If we do this first of all, then it's much easier in the end. So yeah, this is going to be the sugar beet field like I keep saying, and hopefully it's going to be a good harvest. I'm hoping to do this with the trailed harvester, not the self-propelled one, because obviously it's a very small field. It's most likely going to be the only sugar beet field we do, so we don't need to go and buy or rent anything really expensive. Also, thank you very much to everyone who has pointed out that field 13 and 11 are probably going to be getting very close now to the withering stage. Don't worry, we'll definitely get them harvested before they wither. And also, yeah, thank you to everyone who has sent the updated link to the combine we own, because apparently the updated one comes with a new header, and also it has new features such as it being washable, and yeah, I think there's quite a few new headers as well actually, probably different sizes, which is obviously going to be very beneficial to us. So yeah, we're going to have to get that, I think, hopefully. But yeah, get this job out of the way first of all, and then it should be the sunflower harvest, and then after that it will be the rye harvest. Okay, so that is the headland done. We've gone around twice and I think that'll be enough. Next thing we need to do is go across, and we need to make sure I pick it up every time, because I think usually with one of these you can turn one way but not two ways, so you can either turn just left or just right depending on which way the discs are angled. With one of these I'm not too sure. It looks like it might be you can turn right possibly, but we're going to pick it up every time anyway, because I think really we can get away with doing that. We don't need to risk damaging it. Yeah, apparently there is a damage and repair mod. I did look into that, and as far as I can see you have to have it implemented into the map, but I might be wrong. It would be very good, and I was really hoping that FS17 has that as standard, but I don't know if it will do. I know that with FS17 you can customise the vehicles, but yeah, as for damage and repair, not too sure. We will have to wait and see. Another thing I was going to do was I was going to get the Marshall spreader, because as you know we have cows and obviously the cows are producing manure. However, we haven't owned them long enough, so there isn't enough manure for us to do this field, which is a shame, because what I wanted to do was use a placeable heap and then dump everything in the field in a pile, and then we can just use a telehandler to scoop it up and then put it in the muck spreader, so we don't have to keep going backwards and forwards to the cows. They're very close anyway, but if this was a field quite a long way away, then it would be a much easier way of doing it. In the future I will be doing that, so in fact it hopefully won't be too long. There is another field I would love to do. I think it's field number 36, I think. I can't remember what is in there. I think we did recently harvest it. It was the Aussie rape field, I think. Yes, it was. So that will need to be reseeded, replanted. But I'm going to do that kind of idea with it, because I think it will look pretty good. What I'm hoping to do is also get a new telehandler. We're going to go for a JCB, because JCB telehandlers are absolutely amazing. I think JCBs are probably, in my opinion, probably the best telehandlers there are. Obviously they're used an awful lot on farms in the UK. All the farms around me have them, so I think when you get into these arguments and discussions and stuff about saying, oh, you don't use that kind of machine here in the UK, I think it does vary heavily on the county, because some counties you might have never heard of, for example, having a Merlot on the farm, but then there might be other counties in the UK where most of them have a Merlot. Merlot is just an example, but it could be Manitou, it could be JCB, Massey Ferguson, John Deere, Claas, anything like that really. But yeah, certainly around me it's pretty much all JCB. Anyway, here we go, final pass of the field. It didn't take too long, that's why I did most of it on screen. We might as well. I don't really want to plant straight away, but I think we're going to have to, just to get them in the ground and growing. They need to get going. The nutrition is okay, but we will be fertilising. I think this can be the field which I... Whoa! Yes, this cultivator does like to slide. You should stop. I forgot. You should stop when folding up. That was a mistake. But yeah, I was going to say, this field is the field we're going to concentrate on the most with the soil mod. I know I'm not that good at soil mod, so I'm just going to concentrate on a few fields, because otherwise I'm just going to get loads of fields which aren't that good. Now where can I put this? There's not many places for it. I might have to put it in the yard at the top, where the pigs are, because there is a lot more space up there. However, actually we could reverse it into there, but no, let's just take it up here. Might be easier. Pretty sure there is a storage shed. I think the one in front of us is, so we might as well make use of it, because currently I'm just sort of dumping everything in the same yard, which is not that good. And when you have more space available to us, it would seem pretty weird to do that, especially in real life. So let's maximise the use of the space we have. Get a reverse straight to the back of the left hand side. And I believe actually this is a pin type hitch, so we're going to have to jump out and remove the pin. So there we go. Is it? Yes it is. So yeah, there is a pin just going in there, so I'll pull that out. And we probably should have put this down first, but there we go. It's off. It does it all in one action. Next thing we need to do is get the planter. I believe the planter we use for the sugar beet is the Horsch. So we're going to get the Horsch attached to, once again, the T7. We might as well use it as much as we can do while we own it, because we're not going to have it for a massive amount of time. And yeah, the harvest will have to be next week, I think, because I really don't want those fields to wither. That would be a huge loss, it would be highly embarrassing, and very, very bad for the financial side of the farm. Okay, so I don't think that is the one actually. No, I don't think that is the one. We need to go to the other farm, well, the other side of the road here, to pick it up. So let's go over here. It's a lot smaller than the one we've just seen, but it's still pretty big. So we should pretty much be able to do this in real time. Is this a pin type? Looks like it might be. It is indeed. Actually, I think the pin hitch might be standard with this tractor. It might not be used with a pin on another tractor. Okay, so... Oh, it's already... Wow, that is easy. It's already full. So that's very cost effective for us. So a few people wanted me to do some more bloopers at the end of the videos. Usually when I make a mistake I do throw it in at the end, but I try not to make a mistake, although it can be sometimes quite hilarious, but other times it can be nothing special at all. So I'm not going to put them in because it would just be boring. Like, why have you just made a mistake? No one cares. Don't put that rubbish in at the end of the video. Sometimes it can be quite amusing, but yeah, I'll only put it in if it's quite funny. Okay, so here we go. It begins. I don't know if we should do the headland first, I really don't. With this kind of a thing, a few people have said that you can do it first, but I think today we might do it last. Although it probably is easier to do it first. I don't know. We'll just do it this way first of all. Okay, so we're getting on really well. We're nearing the end. So today in real life, just before recording this video, in fact it's taken all day, basically we've got this tree stump. It's an old pear tree, so it's pretty hard wood, and a few of you might have actually seen it in my previous video on my other channel on Machinery Restorer, where I'm testing out the backhoe. I actually pick it up with the backhoe, kind of, it's very heavy. But yeah, what I've been trying to do is cut it with a chainsaw, and you'd think that's pretty easy. But no, it's really not. It's so muddy. I've had to pressure wash it, which sounds like a strange thing to do to a tree, but that's just to get the excess mud off, because it just makes the chainsaw blade blunt instantly. But we've been hacking away at it. The chainsaw's finding it hard. It's a solid thing. It's incredible how solid it actually is. But the point I'm trying to make here is, because it is old, it blew down in a strong gale about two winters ago, I think it was. Yeah, 2 years ago. It started to decay. Actually, it decayed before it blew down. That's why it blew down. Some of the roots had rotted, but not all of them. But as soon as I ripped it out of the ground with the backhoe, it absolutely stank of what smells exactly the same as fermented silage, and it actually smells just like fermented silage. As soon as you cut it, we've cut it up now, and it's in the process of being split with a log splitter. The whole air just fills with this really strong fermentation smell, and I'm sure all of you livestock farmers out there, you'll know exactly what the smell I'm talking about is. And yes, it is a strong smell. It seems weird that it smells just the same as silage, but it's a pear tree, so maybe that's got something to do with it. But it's just, you know, it gets to you. The smell is so strong. It's incredible. It's not a horrible smell, but it's just a very overpowering smell. But yeah, that's what I've been doing today. Pretty busy day. It wears you out quite a bit, but not too bad. It's amazing, because in the video, if you watch my other video, the backhoe video on my Machinery Restorer channel, you'll see that it doesn't look like much, but as soon as you start working at it, that's when you realise what a job it is. If it would just cut up like, you know, a softwood tree, then it wouldn't be too bad. And when you look at it on a video, it looks like nothing. But yeah, it's incredible. It's a tough thing. But I would say we're pretty much done there. It hasn't taken very long. Well, you would expect it not to take very long. So the job next to do is to, well, I was going to say get the combine set up for the next video. However, if we're going to change it for the latest version, then that'd be kind of pointless. So I think we'll just pack this up. And actually, we could take a tractor and trailer over there. Now, a few people, again, it's hard to please everyone, but a few people want me to change the tractors from just John Deere and Massey Ferguson, and I might do. But I think really we're going to have to just stick with it, because farms wouldn't usually change their tractors daily. I know it does make it more interesting in the video because you see different stuff, and I try and change them as much as possible, but from a realism side of things, it doesn't really look too good. And I think we've got quite a lot of tractors here. I mean, more than you'd need, really. We're doing pretty well. But that is actually going to be it for today with the T7. I'm not going to use that again today because we've used it quite a lot recently. I mean, it's nice to use the rented stuff a lot because obviously you're making use of it. However, I think we've overdone it for today. So, let's just get this started up. We'll drop that off the back. We can do, because it's one of these hitches. Different type of hitch. And we can get the AS trailer, the Marson trailer, attached to the back. Flip the window open. Where's the latch? There it is. And we're just back into here. So, finding it quite hard to decide whether we should do the sunflowers first or the rye first. I've done sunflowers before and I've never done rye, so it's quite hard to decide. Which field did we put in first? I think we did the sunflowers first, so they're going to have to be the priority, because yeah, like I said, the worst thing that could happen here is we lose the field due to withering, which would be terrible. So yes, this is going to have to be the first field we do. We might just give it a quick rinse. Some people hate it when I do this, but it needs to be done. When it gets to this stage, it's just, you know, it's a bit beyond it. It looks a bit scruffy. We don't have to thoroughly clean it. Just, you know, take some of the cakes on mud off. Actually, I've overdone it there, but oh well. Yes, I keep meaning to change that mode for the notes. They keep opening with the same button as the pressure washer, also a few other things as well. Yes, the door for the tractor is exactly the same as that. But this should be okay, just parked at the side here. So we'll just put it there. There we go. And yes, I've just remembered, we do also have the zero turn mower. It needs to be sold, I think, because it's been left in the shed. We now have the compact tractor, and it's not really serving a massive purpose. I mean, it's nice to have it, but we don't use it enough to justify keeping it. So what we'll do, this is our John Deere deck. It looks quite plain, but when it's on the machine it's okay. So from now on we'll be using the compact tractor to cut the orchard. Just run around here. How are the chickens doing? They still have the floating egg syndrome. Yep, just up there. There might be another one floating around as well, but got a few eggs from them. Just head round here. There's the compact tractor. Just get on it, and I think we'll take the header off. And then we can go into the shed here. There should be a trailer, hopefully, because we need to put it on the trailer to be able to sell it, because the last thing we want to be doing is taking the zero turn mower down the road. It would look kind of crazy. And this is a pretty decent trailer. Quite an American trailer, but it's still pretty good. Oh dear, we've sunk into the concrete. That is not good. Someone could have told me that the concrete was still wet. I think we're okay. I think, yes, it's just a floating shed. Right, that should unfold. What is the setting for that? Right, it's M to lower, and I think it's K, yes, K to lift up again. So just drop it down there. The problem with having the trailer attached to the hitch of this means that it's sitting very low. If we had a drawbar on the 3-point linkage, then we could obviously adjust it higher and lower, which would be quite a bit better. That's not going to work. It's not going to work at all. So I'm afraid we're going to have to drop it off. If you use a different tractor for this job. Put this back over here. Instead we're going to use the trusty 7530 Premium. Fantastic tractor. Really do like this John Deere. Yeah, it seems that whenever I use John Deere I use Massey Ferguson. I don't know why. Bit of a coincidence, I think. But that should be better. It's still not great though, is it? It must be the land. Let's just move forwards a bit. See what that looks like. It's okay, but it's still a bit low. There we go. That should do us. Kind of sticking out onto the road, so we better be quick. And to drive this thing we need to have it in, yep, it's already in diff lock and four-wheel drive, otherwise it doesn't like to move anywhere. Not sure why it does that, but I don't know, maybe it's a conflict with drive control. Okay, so it should go up here. I mean, I like this thing, but it's quite expensive, and when we've got a compact tractor we don't really need it. I suppose we could rebuy it again in the future, but we'll have to see. Right, that should be okay just there. It's a fun thing. I mean, you can whiz around in circles if you wanted to. But, yeah, it's all to do with finances. Right, I think if you press O, it'll lock it onto there. You can then put this back up again. And what I might do is take a bit of a different journey to the shop. We usually go left out of here, but today we're going to go right. Just to keep it a bit different. Okay, oh crikey, almost crashed into the shed. Right, we're going to go left out of here. Just notice the indicator display on the dashboard doesn't actually light up. Not sure why, but it's still a good tractor. So there are the sunflowers, they need to be done. That's for next week. And we might do the right as well next week, but I might do a bit off screen because obviously harvesting continually is a bit much. So we'll just have to see. But yeah, let's just get this up to the shop get it sold, and see how much money we can get back for it. Right, bit of a blind turning this, but we should be okay. And then we need to be in the right hand side, just in here. And yeah, it's going to be a case of just throwing it off and asking them what we're going to get. Hopefully it's going to be something generous. I mean, I don't think the sales do affect selling, it's just buying that they sell. I'd be interested to see exactly how the deals, the sales and everything work on 17. I have to wait and see. There's an awful lot of stuff going to have to wait and see, but there is still a lot of updates coming out. We've got these, I think they're probably almost weekly blogs actually, maybe fortnightly. But they do tell you a lot of information. Okay, come on, move. Oh yeah, we need to remove the straps, which you will be able to do in FS17. You can ratchet strap, which is going to be amazing. There we go. So just drop it off there. Seems a bit of a shame, but if we don't have the use for something, I can't really see the point in keeping it. So we'll put the ramps back up again, switch the engine off, and finally, what can we get back for our 0-turn mower? £9,000, which actually seems very good. That is brilliant. Yes, we've done that already. So we're back on £32,842. We have two massive harvests to do in the future. Rye, which is, I think it's an okay price, and sunflowers. Let's just take a look at the prices actually. They'll be down below. Just take a look. Sunflowers are roughly £601 per tonne, and rye is surprisingly cheaper, £583 per tonne. So nothing like the price of oats, which is just incredible. If I had known they were worth quite so much, we would have done everything as oats. But yes, that is all for next week. So until then, as usual, thank you very much for watching, and please do join me again next time. Until then, see you again soon. Bye for now.